Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. You'll be very glad to know that today's video is not about me. It is in fact about this chap, Louis Dunne, behind me. We're going to have plenty of time to chat while we're out on this running session, but I thought I'd give you an overview about what we're doing today. I've come for a training day with Louis, and it's the best kind of training day because I'm not running with you, I've brought a bike. I don't know why people don't think of this more often. We're going to be talking about your training, your racing, how Outlaw Triathlon have sort of intertwined with that as well. Should we get stuck in?
Yeah, let's get stuck in.
We're at home Pierpoint, by the way, and it's close to our heart, isn't it?
Yeah, it's home of Outlaw. Lots of good memories, lots of bad memories.
Yeah,
painful memories that you sort of block out your mind. But
yeah, well, let's dig those up. Let's get out there. So Louis, for those who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name's Louis Dunne. I'm a 19-year-old sort of part-time triathlete trying to make it pro. So I'm like a year and a half out of full-time studies doing A-levels and decided to not go to uni, just sort of pursue the dream of triathlon, giving it 3 years of my best shot. So doing part-time work, a local dentistry practice to fund it, and then training as hard as I can to become a pro triathlete in long distance and middle distance triathlon.
Awesome. So what races have you done up to yet?
So obviously your longer distance races start when you're 18, so I've done Outlaw half, Nottingham and Bowood in 2021, along with the British champs in Aberfeldy in Scotland, and then in 2022 I did Outlaw half Nottingham again, Outlaw full, which is my first full distance triathlon, and then did the European middle distance champs in Bilbao, and then mixture of challenge Mallorca races and then different ones in and around that, but just building up the distance, building up the experience, and this year coming back to doing lots of Outlaw events, Outlaw half Nottingham, Holcombe for the first time, being the British champs, possibly Outlaw X depending on how other races go, with another full distance in there as well.
Okay. What would you say is your best performance to date?
Best performance, I would say it's the middle distance European champs in Bilbao. It was my first time representing GB age group, and I flew out there and I wasn't expecting much, obviously, so I won in the 20 category in the British champs the year before, and so I wanted to back that up with the European champs. So I went out there, that's probably my best result. I was up there in the top 7 I think until halfway on the run. I had some stomach issues, should we say, and we'll leave it at that. Impacted the run, but that's probably my best race over the whole race. I mean, maybe I've had a better swim discipline or run in other events, but as a whole, that was it.
I bet a lot of people watching these videos can empathise with stomach issues in triathlons.
Yes.
So quite a few Outlaw events in there, and that's sort of the reason why we met up today.
Yep.
Outlaw have named you as one of their future pros as part of their ambassador program.
Yep.
So what does that involve, and how has that helped you?
So that's no pressure at all with that.
Yeah.
Saying that. So late last year, Outlaw, they put out they were looking for like Outlaw ambassadors, and that was content creators, local heroes or aspiring pros. So I applied for that. I've known the guys at Outlaws for quite some time from my family, and my dad did a lot of those races, so I applied for that, not thinking anything. I didn't know I'd get in or anything, and then got an email, I think it was Christmas Eve, saying that I was part of that. So that was a good Christmas present, and that basically the Outlaw guys are just helping me with some of the burden that comes on. Like, triathlon is a very rich sport in generally, even when you're being a pro, so trying to get to that level, they're helping race entries, a bit of kit here and there, and just giving me the opportunities to pursue the dream.
Yeah, it makes a real difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, massive difference. I mean, would have been in contact with a called Helen who works at Outlaw, and she's been so good helping me out. She's just like, yeah, sort your camping out for Holcombe and Outlaw half Nottingham, and just doing whatever they can. So yeah, it's really good.
because the Outlaw events provide 2 opportunities this year to try and get an elite long distance license, don't they? Outlaw Half Nottingham's a gateway event, and then Holcombe is of course a British champ, so the races you'd probably be targeting if you had that in mind anyway. Yeah,
definitely. And I know there's some tough competition. I know a few of the other Outlaw ambassadors probably maybe a few steps ahead of me, but I'm not putting too much pressure on those races as a whole, because I think that's when you start messing up. So if it doesn't happen in those 2 races, it's not going to change my thought process. It will just make me a bit more hungry, and even if it comes later in the year or even next year, it will come in my head anyway. Okay,
so have you got any other help, any other partners or sponsors on board?
Yeah, so I have Well Work, the Campbell Clinic. They massively help out, so they not only allow me to work part-time, they also do sponsorship contract, so that last year they paid, I mean, they're so lucky to have this at my level. They paid for a new time trial bike from the guys that Try Harder, who also link with the Outlaw. So
I do that, and then the guys there,
so, and then this year there were more financial help, and then also McLean Wellness, which is based in West Bridgford. He does Gregor McLean. He was an international pole vaulter at the Commonwealth Games and internationally, and then so he does my personal training, try and get me strong, because as you can see I'm not built like a rugby player, and also he does sports massage, so if I ever get any niggles he helps me out. And then I have also Holloman Wealth Management and Lonehead Dental Practice, who are based in Scotland, who help me out a bit financially as well. So I mean, I'm very lucky, and it's a lot in this business is who you know, and I'm very lucky to have a lot of people that know a lot of people, so that helps me out a lot.
Okay. So we're running around Home Pierpont now, and you're having an easy run to start, but I know it's harder because you're talking. Welcome to my world. What's today's training session?
So today's is mainly a long run, bit spiced up now near the end. So it's an hour 45-ish in total, and it starts with just 60 minutes steady. I'm not really looking at pace, maybe look at heart rate, but as long as I can talk, then I know it's fine. And then we'll do 15 minutes tempo, mainly off feel as well. Maybe if it feels really hard, I'll just stay in the right zone heart rate wise, and then 5 minutes easy, 10 minutes tempo, 5 minutes easy, 5 minutes tempo, and then cool down for the rest. So nice and simple. It's not a key session, it's purely getting that impetus of when you're doing a long run, you get used to staying in that same zone. So if you can pick it up, then just weight the legs up a little bit, so not too dissimilar from coming off the bike after 2.5 hours of activity, trying to run off it.
Yeah, I'll get myself ready then. We're just coming down to the finish line of where the half and the full finishes. Outlaw Half Nottingham has sub 50 places remaining. If you had to try and sell Outlaw Half Nottingham in one word to somebody who's thinking about their first middle distance triathlon, what would you say is the best part about it?
Oh, I mean, the course is rapid, and the lake is pan flat.
Yeah.
It's and the bike course has one hill, and it actually helps break it up a little bit. And I would just say, even if you're not thinking about times or anything like that, the atmosphere in an Outlaw event, it's almost like a family. Everyone knows everyone. There's no one thinking they're better than anyone else. Everyone helps each other. Volunteers are amazing, and the area's pretty good as well, even though it's quite a long way down one way. So you say we're close to the finish line, but you think it's still quite a long way.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10 to 80, my save ones. Take to the top on the baseline. New car, race on. Fast lane, pace on. With the booyah, that's a flex. Non-human, I ain't from another planet. I'ma teleport, might vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Join number 7, he's bored though. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So 60 minutes, just steady one and done around the lake. I think just chatting pace, not really looking at the watch. And then we've done 15-minute tempo, keeping it controlled, thinking about form, only looking at the heart rate and time, and then I'll look at the pace afterwards. And that is, I think the first 50 minutes came in at 6-minute miling, but 170 heart rate. So like 172 to 178 is zone 4, if you put that into perspective. And then 5 minutes steady, and we did a 10-minute effort tempo again, and that was at 5:53 per mile. And then what heart rate was it? 172. And then we're just in the mix now, so 5 minutes easy when we've got 2.5 minutes left, and we'll do a 5-minute. Not going to go crazy, keep it at a tempo, but look at the thing, it's not about pushing it today, it's just keeping the legs running after, because we've done an hour and a half of running now, so
I made a comment about the shift in pace between your steady and tempo. It is a noticeable shift. So how much steadier are you running the steady bit?
So yeah, what the steady winning anything about 8-minute miling.
Yeah. 2 minutes a mile.
Yeah, 2 minutes at like 2 minutes mile, and I'm not thinking about that at all. And during the week, if you're running steady, then run steady. And I think if you're pushing it too hard, if you're in that grey zone, then it's going to impact your sessions, whether that be the whole session or the last rep. And over time, you're never giving your legs time to rest, so it's going to end up being a whole session, and you're going to get injured. Yeah. Or you're going to end up disliking your long runs and your steady paces if you're going too hard. Like, I used to not like it at all, but then once you're just going out, chatting, find someone to run with, you should never really be hurting. You actually just be thinking, like, I never run with music, just think about stuff, think about races, like, you know, think about football. I come up with football fantasy teams as I'm running along, anything like that. Like, you should not be focusing, and that means your tempo will actually be at a decent pace, and if your threshold, then that'll be as well, and you'll be pleased with your effort. So I think that's the key.
Okay, session done and dusted then, Louis. I just about hung on the bike. Talk us through the stats and how the session went.
So yeah, it was 1 hour 50 in total, with a 60-minute nice and steady run, just keeping it zone 2, and then 15-minute tempo, 5-minute easy, 10-minute tempo, 5-minute easy, 5 minutes tempo, and then a little bit of a cool down. So steadies were anything between 740, 750 minute per mile pace, and then the tempos started at 6-minute miling, going down to 550s. So yeah, just over 15 miles in total, which is good for a long run. It always goes quicker with tempo and decent company, occasionally.
Somebody tune your ear off and going like this every 2 minutes. Good. Yeah. I'll probably put Louis' stats on screen while we're doing that, and all of your links will be down below. Instagram, Strava.
Give the gram a follow.
Yeah, and give the gram a follow.
And if you have any questions, just leave a comment or message me wherever, and I'll be happy. Brilliant. Or I'm sure Daniel will send you over.
I will, don't worry, I'll forward them all to you. And if you see Louis at an event this year, give him a shout, because you're all guns blazing, aren't you?
Yeah. Louis, the only thing, I'll probably not have a beard. It's a bit of a winter beard, so I might look slightly different.
More aero. Yeah. Thank you very much for letting me tag along today. I really appreciate it. I know for people who don't do this sort of thing, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and I hope this video's come across well, and we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Cheers.